Hey all, Altarian here with another Godzilla review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai Creations 1954 Godzilla. This is the original from the first Japanese Godzilla movie, and it is a pretty good representation of him. I do like him. He was about $11, just like the Millennium Series Godzilla, and he's pretty good. I do like his sculpt. I do like his paint job. Articulation-wise, just like the Millennium Series one, he doesn't have much. His head rotates. His arms rotate, and then of course his legs rotate, and his tail does have a bit of a rotation to it. I do like how they did his tail versus how they did the Millennium Series Godzilla's tail, because this one is actually long-ish. I don't know if it's as long as it's supposed to be, but it's longer than the Millennium Series one was. So overall, he's pretty good sculpt-wise. I don't really expect much from him for being so inexpensive articulation-wise, but he is pretty good. He came out in the same wave as the Millennium Series one. Paint job, he has a pretty good paint job on him. He's gray, pretty much everywhere, except for the mouth. The mouth is white and red. Otherwise, he is completely gray with a little bit of difference in color here, and then on his chest here. Otherwise, he's pretty much a solid color. His knees have a little lighter on there as well, and then of course his claws are a lighter gray. They're not white, but they are a lighter gray. So we'll take a closer look at his sculpt so you can kind of see some of the details he has going on here. He does have some pretty nice eyes. Like I said, I feel he's a pretty good version of the 1954 Godzilla, especially for the price. You can't really beat him. He does have a bit of paint issues going on here. Obviously, it's a mass-produced toy, so it's not going to be perfect, but stands out quite a bit because he is just gray, so any kind of color stands out pretty much completely on him. So here's the mouth. Pretty decent teeth detail going on here. They just kind of red and white, not much. Texture-wise, it's pretty good. He has a pretty good texture going on. Like I said, he looks pretty good for an inexpensive toy. It's not a bad representation of him. It's no Monster Arts, obviously, or NECA quality, but for $11 you can't really go wrong with him. Like I said, overall he has a nice skin texture. He has a pretty decent paint job, and I do like him a bit more than the Millennium Series version, just because mainly the tail doesn't look as stubby and short as the Millennium Series Godzilla's tail did. But like I said, he's good. I'm happy with him. I don't really have much to say about him. He's pretty basic. There's really not much going on. I'm going to cut to some size comparisons so you can kind of see how he stands up against some of the other Godzillas that I have, just like in all my other Godzilla reviews. So we'll be back here in just a minute with some size comparisons.
And first up here we have the Bandai Creations 1954 Godzilla compared to the Bandai Creations Millennium Series Godzilla. And next up is the NECA 1994 Godzilla compared to the Bandai Creations 1954 Godzilla. And last up, we have a comparison next to the entire collection that I have. Left to right, we have the Bandai Creations Millennium Series Godzilla, the 1954 Bandai Creations Godzilla. Behind those three in the front is the Diamond Select Toys 1989 Godzilla Bank. In front of him is the Destruction Pack 2014 Godzilla, the Hallmark 2014 Godzilla Ornament, the Running Press Lights and Sounds Godzilla 2014 figure. Then we have the, in the back, Atomic Roar 2014 figure. In front of him is the NECA 2014 Godzilla and the NECA 1994 Godzilla. And now back to the main review.
Alright, and we're back here with the wrap-up. So, like I said, those are some size comparisons. Overall, I'm just going to repeat it. This is a pretty good version of the 1954 Godzilla. You can't really beat him for $11. My really only real complaints about him is, yes, he does have articulation, but if you have his arms and like his tail in a different position than like how the sculpt is, it doesn't line up right. You kind of have to have the arms in a certain position for it to actually look right. But that's pretty much all I have negative to say about him. Like, the articulation is basically pointless on him, because if he's not in the right pose, he looks funny. But overall, like I said, good toy, worth $11. I would definitely recommend him. My only other issue is the spines. I don't know if this is right, but this spine is like off-center from all the other spines, and that's kind of weird. But again, that could be completely accurate to how the suit was. I'm just not 100% sure. But like I said, he is pretty good. Again, would recommend him if you want a cheap Godzilla toy, if you don't have the money to spend on Monster Arts, or you can't find a NECA version. NECA hasn't made him. I do hope at some point they do make him, and don't make him green. Hopefully they do that at some point down the line. So yeah, Bandai Creations, 1954 Godzilla, would recommend it. I'll be back here on Friday with the first prop review. We'll be taking a look at the Underground Toys 10th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. So if you like my videos, please subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.